Today I am reacting to the song Disguise by Motionless and White. Let's get into it. Now, honestly, I'm actually really excited for this one. I don't know how this one is gonna go. I have heard Thoughts and Prayers, and I have heard Brand New Numb, and I've also heard Headache off of this album, but I've never heard Disguise. So we'll see how this one goes. I have a pretty good idea of what I'm expecting on it. I'm expecting kind of something along the lines of their song America, which is a little kind of circusy. So it's kind of like a do like the origin like the intro to like let's say the sound of like a Jack in the Box is what I'm expecting. They have that in there and then they go into like kind of like a vocal break and then they start going into their regular old heavy metal, metalcore, alternative metal kind of style, and then the verse is probably gonna be the same way, where there's just a bass line along with some heavy drums and stuff, and then the break or like the bridge, like building up to the chorus, is just gonna be some vocals, and then I'm expecting the chorus to be kind of the same as the verse, along with Chris, the singer of the band. He's probably going to start off with an aggressive and then go to clean and then do kind of like a little bit of like a stressed bridge and chorus. Although honestly, now that I think about it, I think he might be wanting to do. I think he does a little bit more of like a kind of like a a screaming chorus, but I'm not sure because I've never heard the song before. So, and then I'm also kind of thinking that he's gonna do like a heavy, kind of like an aggressively stressed, like distorted bridge, or not like bridge, but like post chorus. And then when it builds up to the last chorus, he's probably gonna go all out with like his signature like heavy, distorted vocal style. And then he's probably gonna do a couple blasts in the song. So I really have no idea what to expect with this one, but I think I'm going to have a little bit of mixed feelings about it, but you never know until you listen to it. So there's the jukebox or like the Jack in the Box thing that I was thinking about. Nice. All right, but honestly, that intro really kind of like makes you think of like what's going to happen in the rest of the song. Well, I don't know. Let's get it. We kind of start hearing like the build up to the beat drop, which is really going to be a think like I said, it's probably going to be an aggressive, like probably the whole song is probably going to be sung aggressively, except for like the build up to the chorus, which I'm thinking is going to be sung a little bit more cleanly, and then pretty much just everything else is just going to be all out scream. Just a little bit of build up.
Get up, get up!
Okay, so it's got like the scream, which I was right about that. We'll see what else comes, because I honestly think that's just how the whole song is gonna go.
Spiraling inside.
Hmm, clean verse. Or not exactly like clean as in like let's say Amy Lee of Evanescence singing this, but it's clean for him. It's clean for him.
I'm my own disguise. This is my
A little bit of like
design.
overdrive
But we're not here together.
and I did make the prediction that it was just gonna be all bass verse. That's not right.
Mirror, mirror, tell me who you see. Am I you or me? I can never remember.
Build up is not clean. I thought I said that it was gonna be clean. But and anyways, Fire artwork, by the way. That is absolutely masterpiece. I was wrong again. It's a clean chorus. Although, from that little bit, it seems like it was gonna be a masterful one. That is a good chorus. That is a really good chorus. That is remarkable as to like how good it is. Now, like the chorus for Thoughts and Prayers, for instance, which is I'm pretty sure it's like the fourth song on this album. It it goes through like it's really heavy and it's what I describe as a loud song. You know, you could have a song that's like nice, happy, and a little quiet. Like, for example, let's say Bad Fish by Sublime. That song is nice, happy, and it's also kind of quiet, if you know what I mean. But then you turn on that Thoughts and Prayers by Motionless and White. It's gonna essentially blow your ears out if you have it at the same volume as you do the Sublime song. So, anyone, let's get it. I am locked. I'm digging the electronic sounds. I'm digging it. So it's kind of like a little bit of like a quote unquote dubstep beat, or not like it's essentially the same as like the beat for Narcissistic Cannibal by Korn featuring Skrillex. That's what I think of when I hear that particular beat.
Within the box I bow.
Now, granted, that Korn song is also a lot slower than this one, but it's also really good in that it's not traditional new metal Korn. Same with this. This is supposed to be alternative post-hardcore rock metalcore, but honestly it sounds a little bit dubstep with that kind of beat.
Out from the inside out, reassured by my doubt. I don't want this fucking codependent vice, but desperate measures call for desperate lies.
So that second verse is sung a little bit more aggressively than what I was expecting. I was expecting both of them to be completely clean, essentially like the chorus for their song Eternally Yours. So you hear that song, you hear the chorus of that song, you hear all clean vocals for the chorus. All clean vocals for the chorus. This one, for that particular verse, comparing it to the first verse, it is most definitely not the same, as in when regarding to levels of cleanness in the vocals. You can hear a little bit more like that vocal distortion slash screaming or something in that second verse. But I mean, they're still clean in there. It's just not as prevalent. Okay, so there's the breakdown. Now, honestly, regarding like the whole, after hearing like up till this point in the song, I haven't heard any traditional like metalcore elements. I haven't heard the slow drumming, the da 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 da, the traditional like guitar and drum in a metalcore song. When I think of metalcore, I think of like Fit for a King. I think of this band's song Thoughts and Prayers. And that the song just doesn't seem to have it yet, although we still have about 2 minutes left. So we'll see what they have. Honestly, now this bridge is seeming to be a little bit like kind of like a whisper like this. But that's what I think the whole thing is going to be. I'm not expecting really any screaming in the bridge until like the build up to the last chorus maybe.
Sick of hiding my face, sick of every motherfucker is in my way. Sick of digging for answers while you bury the truth. Fuck your methods to my sadness, I will bury you.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I expected it to be all clean vocals. Psych. There's although I mean that was actually really well done. That was really well done. All right, let's continue. There's the metal, and there's the red. So literally in like the 5 seconds, the two most anticipated things that I was waiting for in this song up here, the traditional metalcore beats and the bleh. I love the blehs. If I were to make a compilation of all his different blehs, it'd probably be like 5 minutes long with like each bleh just being the part of the song where he does it. And he does it a lot. He does it a lot. I think his best one is in the radio mix for his song America or the one in Thoughts and Prayers. The one in Thoughts and Prayers is really, really good. It's distorted vocals like I thought I was expecting, but then I changed my mind. It's where I thought it was going to be a clean build up, and then it got into a little bit of the angry vocals into the chorus. I changed my mind to where I thought it was yeah. I will not become the mask. There is not my fate. You can't turn down anger. You can't silence pain. You will not put out the fire that burns in me. That burns in me. So it's like the beginning of the last chorus, like just from that. I was going to talk about the build up to the last chorus, but it really did kind of have that distorted feel to it, like the angry, like sort of like screaming stuff to it. And then after like right after it, and then it goes kind of like the low vocals, kind of like a whisper like this. But that's pretty much it. That's all I noticed so far. I'm pretty sure the last chorus will be the same, and then it'll just go through like the get up, and like in the beginning, and then it'll just end.
I hold myself to my disguise. I hid myself to stay alive. I found myself by losing hope. I lost my way to find a home. I hid myself to spite my eyes. I was losing myself in my despair.
So it's like they extended the chorus, but for the part that they extended it with, they slowed it down. Hmm. Okay, so far that's what it's gone as what I was expecting. But yeah, let's see. Well, okay. That was very that was very good. I will say that was good. I will say that they probably could have done a little bit more clean vocals, as in like with the beginning of it, or they could have just eliminated the get out stuff. But I also think that they just did a really good job of what they did, and I don't personally think that they need to change anything. But if they want to do like a remix of it, then by all means they could. And but what they have, I mean, is really, really good. It's really good. Like I am very surprised at how good that was. All right, so after hearing the song all the way through, I'm gonna say that it's really good. I'm gonna have three critiques of it, and the first one is I think they don't really need that jukebox in the beginning, or not like the jukebox, but the Jack in the Box sound, like the do that part. I don't think they needed that. And then I think they should have left the second verse completely clean or have done it all just like stressed out vocals, like distorted vocals. And then the third is I think they should have done the bridge all distorted too. I think they should have done those three things because if you listen to the bridge where he kind of goes between where stressing his voice and then going a little bit more clean, I think they should have done it completely stressed out or distorted because honestly, I think it would have sounded a little bit more uniform when he was singing all in one musical style because with him singing in two different styles, it kind of gives it this not exactly straight vibe. So if I were them, I would have decided to not use that real Jack in the Box kind of thing because honestly, it's not a circus song. So I don't think it really matters for them to have that in there. And then I think they should have done the second verse in the same way as they did the first verse, to where they should have done almost all completely all clean vocals. And then third, I think they should have done the same thing with the bridge, only they should have picked between one or the other. They shouldn't have like mixed both to where they did clean and distorted. And yeah, I think I would rate this song at a solid 7.8. I would rate it at a 7.8. I don't think it's exactly an 8 because those three things that I named that they could have probably done a little bit better on this song, but it's still a really solid song. I don't, I'll have to listen to the rest of the album, but for now, I would probably put it second under Brand New Numb. I would give Brand New Numb probably a 9.5 on the scale. And then I would give Thoughts and Prayers a 7.2. And I would also give Headache probably a 5.9, just because it's a lot different from their usual style. And when I was listening to it, I wasn't really like picking up on like traditional metalcore elements. But I would definitely say that this one is a little bit more metalcore um than Headache and probably Brand New Numb. I would say Brand New Numb is probably just a traditional metal song, but Thoughts and Prayers is definitely metalcore. And I would say this song is probably a little bit less metalcore than Thoughts and Prayers, but it definitely does have metalcore elements to it, such as the breakdown. Traditional metalcore usually has breakdown in it, with there being a lot of beats in between snare drum hits and a lot of cymbals along with a lot of the bass, which this song in the breakdown seems to have. So I would label it as, yeah, a metalcore song. And it doesn't, I did not hear any trilling on the guitars, which is a lot of the times really common in metalcore songs. But yeah, that's my breakdown on Disguise by Motionless in White on the first time hearing it all the way through.